anybody who looks just like them, because that's permitted. Permitted by whom? The white supremacists. They don't care. Kill everybody in the neighborhood. So what? There's another black neighborhood gone. There's another one down the street, ready to go. What's the big deal? You better be careful about whose face you get into when you get carried away with what you can do to other black people. And what's pitiful about it is most of us know that. Very few of us who don't know that. We know whose face to get into. And we know just about how much backing we have.
Shame. Shame.
Black person in handcuffs. All kinds of tattoos. All kinds of long record of being able to whip everybody since 9th grade. Standing there in handcuffs, in an orange jumpsuit, in his best hairdo, saying, "Yes, Your Honor." Why don't you use the kind of language toward Your Honor that you use with the people that you encounter right there in your neighborhood? The one that you say that you're a master over. The one that you can terrorize. All the females flocking to you and halfway scared of you. Knock them around all over the place. Call them all kind of names. Why don't you call Your Honor that same name? Snatch him from behind the bench. No. See, we're great show people. Greatest show people on earth. 3 9mm, one in your sock, one in your waistband, one in your side pocket. Ready to take on the entire world in a movie. In a homemade video. Or passing a bus stop full of black people fixing to go to work. Or you can terrorize them. Why don't you take on the champ? Which usually is just 1 or 2 white supremacists who just come and say, "Now, I think you better behave because you're disturbing my peace. Now, if you don't think I can handle you, try me." And I haven't been on this planet forever, but I've never seen a situation on a large scale, or never heard of one on a large scale, of any significance throughout the history of the black male, because that's who I'm talking about, who didn't chicken out in a moment of real crisis. So I don't want to hear in this stalwart Black History Month about that all-powerful black male, because I've seen our record, particularly in the last, I'll say, just in this area of the world, 60 years. Now, we've had a few who did things the way that they ought to be done. They protested in the street. They carried signs. They talked about non-justice. Martin Luther King, people like that. Annie Lou Hamer, as a black female, backing up black males who got out there and tried to do something that made sense, rather than just terrorize the neighbors. And that's doing what we're supposed to do from the weak position that we have. Only time we show all this bravery is when we are mistreating other victims of racism. for the most part. Some exceptions. Some exceptions. Nelson Mandela, exception. Martin Luther King, exception. Malcolm X, exception. A substantial list, but well spaced. Well spaced. All those black males in between, usually the ones who are doing hard time. If you look at what they are charged with, most of it is mistreating, whether they're guilty or not, but most of it is for mistreating other prisoners of war, the race war, people that look like themselves, can't stand themselves and want to kill everything that looks like them and laugh about it and call it an accomplishment. Now, I harp on this because this is one thing that should be real passe. As they say in the hip-hop culture, I think they call it whack. That's really whack. I think that's what they call it. Makes no sense at all. It has been embraced in every generation. Didn't just start. As far back as I can remember. Black male carrying the Saturday night razor. I'm going to cut me somebody before the night's over. Oh, yeah. Who are you going to cut? Who are you going to cut, Jimmy? Who are you going to cut, Mac? Well, I'm going over to the dance hall. Who's in the dance hall, Mac? I'm going to cut me somebody who breaks bad over the dance hall. Who is it that's going to break bad in the dance hall, Mac? Somebody that looks like me. Somebody I probably went to school with before I dropped out. And they dropped out. So we meet up 18 years later. And we slash each other to death in the alley. And that's supposed to be a big deal and the purpose for being on the planet. Now, there are millions of black people who think just like that. And they are not all just in this area of the world. They're south of here, in places like Brazil. They look forward to that kind of foolishness. It's an old black tradition while we're talking about black history. That's a huge part of black culture. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop as of tonight.
You're losing them recipes. Next generations ain't gonna know unless we keep them alive. So I found out about this morning on X. I thought it wasn't real because I went to go look online and nobody said anything, but it's confirmed he passed away on Saturday. He's about to turn 96. But he left the mark. That's from the YouTube channel Hip Hop Cartoons. They usually do a lot of Neely Fuller commentaries. I know he going up there right now. Dr. Kress is she waiting at the gate. And they about to really get into it. Condolences to the family. He's forever etched in Black History Month. We should make sure if we have our kids in black schools to make sure that these schools teach them about Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., especially in 9 areas of human activity. If you can, what I'm going to do today, and if you haven't done it, I think you should do it, is get the legendary Bible. We have a lot of Bibles in our lives, a lot of Bibles, but got to make sure you get this Bible right here. The United Independent Compensatory Code System Concept Textbook. Please go get that. Hello, Baba Rashawn. Please go get that if you don't have it already. It should be along with the ISIS papers, which is right here. Get this too. We all know about Powernomics, but also get this too. Negroes and the Gun, the Black Tradition of Arms. Y'all know I swear by this book. Swear by it. Swear by this book too. Now, admittedly, I didn't read this book yet because for some reason, every time I try to go buy it, it's either out or somebody wants to overcharge it. But I think at this point, I just don't care no more. So I'm going to check out Black Nubian Bookstore. I don't know when I'm going to go. Probably next Monday, I'll probably go. I'll do a live and I'll ride down there so y'all can see and see if they have it in there. Because I don't feel like waiting on Amazon. It's crazy. A lot of his teachings are still up on YouTube, so make sure you peruse them. I ain't gonna stay too long. I just wanted to put that out there. Let's see what he said about black churches, and then we up out of here.
He'll say, Christian church. And then the black person say, oh yeah, well my church is Christian. You know, it wouldn't be a church. You know, I was raised up in the Christian church. You say, yeah, but people call it a black church. Well, you know, that's just an expression that we use. We who? We Christians? How come white people ain't packing in your church? You got thousands of them.
Get some.
Is there something inferior about your church? You got thousands of them. Is there something inferior about your religion? They come and take a look and say, oh, I can look at your religion and tell it's invalid. Therefore, I'm not coming to your church. It's a church. It's a Christian church. And I'm a white man, and I call it a Christian church. But when I came over there and took a look, I saw black people in that church, Christian church.
Get after it.
Hey, that's a religion of another color. Oh, yes. That's a religion of another color. And
Oh, soapbox. The reason why he was talking about the black church so much is because the black church does too much. They're supposed to be the beacon to be helping the black community, but they do a lot of this extra stuff for white acceptance.
it has nothing to do with me. That's what that white person is saying. Otherwise, white people would go to any church that they saw on any corner when they moved in a town. And they would say, oh, it's a church down on the corner, so, you know. But somebody says, oh, but that's a black church. Oh. Yeah, but it's Christian hell, you know. That's a black church. That's a different thing altogether. No, I ain't going down there. For what? They don't have nothing to offer me. Well, they got the same Bible. I don't care what they got to say. They ain't got the same color I have.
There you go.
Got that? Are you crazy? And by now, they probably don't want me in there anyway. They'll think I shoot up the place.
Mm. You ain't tell no lie. But then you go look online, you see white people always talking about they went to a black church with one of their friends and they felt the Holy Ghost. As bad as Christianity is, the one thing that it shows about black people is we are so connected with what's going on in the universe. And they just not. Mm. Anyway, y'all. We're not going to make this a Debbie Downer day. We're not going to do that. We're going to revere the master teacher, Neely Fuller Jr. Keep his family in your prayers. And you just got to follow his examples. Follow his teachings, his words. Just be better people every day. We got to evolve every day. And understand where we live and how to fight it. All right. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I might be back later. I ain't sure yet. I got some things I got to take care of. If I get to take care of, we come back. If not, hey, we'll see you around. All right, y'all. Take care. Stay safe. And you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.